Episode number 103. This is season number 3, episode number 103. And today we're going to talk about exercise plus mental health methods equals a superpower. What does that mean? It means that if you start combining movement and therapy and different things that you might use like skills and drills to become a better person, you develop the superpower, right? It means you become better than what you were. And that's all we want to talk about. So if you're ready for that, let's put on your earplugs, put on your eye boots, put on your Beats, Dre's, your iPods. What do they call those things you put in your ear that are white? Somethings, stick it in your ear, and let's get to it. Let's get to listening, and I'll talk to you guys in 1 second. Before we start, I just got back from New Jersey. East Coast. Right now, if you didn't know, I'm from Vegas, and I went to New York City / New Jersey, split the time, and it's usually a yearly trip that we take. Now, there's a lot of things that I want to tell you about what happened and what happens usually, and now what happened this time, but let me give you a little backstory. When we moved here, we said that every year that we go back, right? We go back to visit my family, visit my friends, and that's something that I always look forward to, right? No matter what, because it's great to see my mom. It's great to see Abuela, who's my wife's mom. It's great to see friends and crank people and anyone else, right? Their dogs, their kids. It's cool. Usually, when I go out back East Coast, I'd come back and I'd feel drained. I'd feel sad. I'd feel angry. I feel like I'm missing out. You know, like when you used to go to like your friend's house as a kid, or maybe summer camp, or like down the shore on like a cool vacation, and then you come back and you're like, oh man, I really wish I had that around. And it was something that I've been working on with my therapist, with my psychiatrist, is really the triggers that happen to me when I'm out back east. And a lot of that usually happens. But this time around, it really didn't. You know, a lot of the things that I've been working on, a lot of the skills that I've been working on, a lot of the coping mechanisms that I've been using has really helped me this time around. Sure, there are points where I was sad because I missed them, where they were sad because I didn't feel like I belonged anymore, and that naturally happens. You know, after a time and period, you see people, and then you stop seeing them. Of course, you still love them. Of course, they still love you. But at some point, there's going to be this separation. There's this distance. And this time around, I felt it, right? I felt it more, not because of what they do or I just kind of felt it. There's nothing that anyone did. It just felt distant. It was great to see them. Absolutely fantastic to see them. We hung out, had some drinks, or hung out and stood in the rain, right? Some people came over, and I had like little pop-up type meetup where people just came into a parking lot because I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to make it a thing. Right? If I go out to a restaurant or a bar, now it's a thing. Now someone's got to get dressed up, and then someone's got to find their ID, and then someone's got to order stuff. And really, that's just me not wanting to do any of that. Not only that, but then we would see people who weren't the ones that I really wanted to see. Right? The people that I want to connect with. And when I put it out there, then those are the ones that I want to see. Like, you know, when you see a random person at the supermarket, you see the random person at the gas station. Now they're taking the time that I want to spend with the people that actually still talk to me away from them. And I don't like that. That's why I like doing things in a park or in public or somewhere where there's not a thing. Right? Oh, no, I got to get dressed. Right? If you go to a bar, now you're going to get dressed because, like, you got to fucking look good just in case. No one could just go outside in, like, a tank top or sweatpants and sneakers because you probably won't be able to get in anyway. And then you feel like a scumbag. You always got to do more. It's so stupid. Oh, my God, I got to put makeup on just in case someone sees me and I got to take a picture for Instagram. Shut up. Just fucking be yourself and you'll be way, way happier. And that's why I like public stuff. That's why I like going to parks. So we did that. Went to my cousins. Went to the city. Hung out with my brother-in-law, which is fucking awesome. You know, he's also starting his own YouTube thing, so it's cool. He will be on the podcast coming up, so I'm really excited for that. Also met a couple other people that are going to be on the podcast now. Got more people, and it's cool. It was really great to be there. The one thing that got me though was when I went to Crank, Brooklyn. If you guys don't know backstory, I opened up Crank with my friend Rob in 2010, and we started with one. And then after that, we opened up Jersey City together because it was just two of us in one place where we had a lot of people that were from Jersey City, Hoboken, that whole metro right outside of New York City area. And they needed a place too. So they were traveling to Nutley and just going back and forth. And we found, we can make it work and let it work out. So we did it that way. And then during that time also, we had a friend that trained with us at the place called Danny Salazar. And he wanted to open up a place in Brooklyn. So, of course, as giving and sharing that I am, right? It's fucking use the name. I don't care. Let's do it. Let's do this together. We're all trying to figure this out. I'm not like a pro in opening up gyms. Let's just do this together and let's see what happens. Would anyone else in the business atmosphere agree with what I'm saying? Absolutely not, because they're there for the buck, right? You're there for the dollar, trying to make money off someone. I'm not going to make money off someone that's learning at the same pace that I am. I'm only about a year into the gym, and we're already opening up 2 other gyms, where we're just helping people grow, and that's kind of all I know. I didn't mean to rhyme there, but it just wasn't part of me to collect a 10% affiliate fee or try to franchise the business, which is a pain in the ass anyway. Like, we looked it up, and that wasn't anything that I wanted to do. So I went there, and I just walked in and surprised him on Memorial Day. That was on a Monday. He had one class. I knew he was training, Danny, and to my surprise, I got into the building, which is in Brooklyn, in Dumbo, and you got to get to the 8th floor. So you ride an elevator, 8 floors of a place that smells like weed the whole way up, right? It's a lot of studios of people that are musicians, I don't know how to say that word, and they have like storage units there, and you kind of go up, and they're like in a combination of a bunch of storage units, and it's amazing. It's great. I've seen it from the beginning. I helped him train in the beginning. I helped him develop it in the beginning, and it's cool to see where it has become and where it has evolved to. Now, when he was training, he didn't know I was coming. Right, so I just kind of took out the IG. I was on the live, and I started taping. And when I was doing it, he was just coaching normally, right? He was coaching, but the things he was saying were the things that I would say. The things he would deliver is kind of the way I would deliver it. So when it comes to training and trainers and coaches, there's personalities, right? We're not there for the workout. Anyone could give us the workout. Right, it's the personality of the person, the characteristics, the traits. Do you like them? They're very important. Like, if you're looking for a trainer, do you fucking like the trainer? That's very important. If not, then find another trainer. Right? You think they have the magic pill? They probably don't. But if you have a good relationship with one, and one that will motivate you and inspire you and help you and guide you, well, then that's the one you want. And he just talked like me. So there were multiple times I was in the class just listening, and I have to walk out and just cry. And I walk out and I cry. I walk out and I cry. Then he said one thing that is something I always say, and Ames too. So Ames was the coach in Nutley as well. And he'd always go, easy day, easy day. And Danny said it, and like I bawled. Like, I wasn't just crying a little bit. I ran out into the bathroom and I was bawling because it just reminded me of everything. It reminded me of like why I loved coaching and why I loved doing things to make people move in order for them to feel good. Right? That was it. I wasn't there to destroy you. I wasn't there to help you lose weight. Right? I was there to get you out of your head. I was there to push you. I was there to make you mentally stronger. That was the concept in my head of what Crank really was. And with all that put together, became you becoming powerlifting champions, you becoming Spartan race champions, you guys just being champions in your own mind by losing some weight and feeling better about yourself. All that surface stuff comes from a coach that really wants to see you be better, not just see you become a statistic. Who cares if you lost fucking 10 pounds? If you lost 10 pounds, you're miserable. Who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. If you got a good workout in, and you really didn't, if they give you a good workout, but you really don't care, then what are you doing there? It's a tough line. And if you guys hear something like bloop, bloop, it's a robot. I have a little robot walking around my house, and I'll show it to you some other point. So anyway, that's kind of what we were going to talk about. It really got me. It really got me. in a way that things haven't gotten me in a while. And in the theme of what we're talking about with exercise and working out and being consistent of recent, and also combining it with skills and the drills that I've learned in DBT and therapy and my psychiatrists, and also in conjunction with medication, right? It gave me the superpower to handle it. And that's what I mean by superpowers. Like, I'm not telling you have to do therapy. I'm not telling you that you have to do medication or to take medication. I'm not telling you to do anything. But what I am definitely telling you to is to move. Right? If there's one thing that you can do, add some movement into your life. Because it's hard and there's going to be resistance. And I'm sure you're going to hate every minute of it, especially in the beginning. But if you could do just one thing today, let's start moving. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be crazy. Just start moving. Set a timer for 15 minutes. Start moving. Dance, walk, whatever it is I always say. And with that, your superpowers will start. And then from there, you can see what direction you want to go. So before the camera runs out or the eye thing comes out, we're going to take a quick break and be right back. All right, guys, and we're back. Before we start into a little bit more, I do have a ebook coming out. Here's a little, I think, logo of it. Hopefully the logo pops up, and if you don't see it, well, then I'll show it to some point on Instagram or on TikTok. So it's too much work to have TikTok. It's called Exercise and Mental Health, the Science Behind It. So it's a quick one. It's like 30 pages long. I don't even think it's 30 pages. It's like maybe 24 pages, honestly. And little blurbs. It's not a hard read. It's a simple one with a bunch of case studies, just to kind of give you a perspective of how important exercise is in regards to mental health. Like, exercise, movement is very vital. You know, it's probably one of the oldest forms of therapy, the oldest forms of helping your mental health or helping you throughout your mental struggle. Right, we use exercise for so many reasons, so why not start today? And I'll definitely let you know when it's all up, but it should be mentalmobility.org. I believe that's going to be the website, mentalmobility.org, and definitely check it out before we get into that. So getting into the exercise, bringing it together, like combining exercise and mental health is huge. Because your brain loves it, right? You release tons of hormones, especially endorphins, in combination with exercise that are already helping you, whether it's meditation or breathing or coping mechanisms. I couldn't think of any. And if you put all those together, it's like a superpower, like I said, and understanding. It really gives you that physical and mental connection is what our body wants, what our body needs, because a lot of times we're out there and we're separated. You guys ever go through a workout and just not even know what happened? Like, you just went through it and there was no connection there? I would say bodybuilders are really the most in tune with their mind and muscle connection, because in order to stimulate the muscles they need for growth, they really have to think about where the stimuli is going. Where you really have to think about what's happening inside the movement. Now, power athletes and explosive athletes are completely different, right? I believe that they needed that foundation first of that bodybuilding, which we call hypertrophy, right? Building muscle. And you got to have that base and that foundation before you can actually become more powerful and or faster and or more explosive, right? It's just basic science. But there's a lot of people out there that try to and there's some freaks of nature, absolutely. There's some freaks that can do without it. But people that have never lifted before try to do things like box jumps or snatches and barbell Olympic lifts, let's say. It's very, very intense. It's very, I don't know the word. God, why am I so dumb sometimes? Very specific. It's very advanced. And we're trying to throw some weight around that you don't even know how to, because you don't even know basic control. You don't even have what they would call GPP, or general prep. You don't even know how to do a push-up correctly. You can't do a squat correctly. You can't do a pull-up. Well, then maybe you shouldn't snatch. Maybe you shouldn't box jump. Maybe because you can't even support your joints. You can't even support the speed of your brain that's trying to move faster, trying to connect faster, and it's not going to. So there is a method behind it, and if you want to know more about it, comment. Let me know. Let me know if that's something that interests you, and I'll find someone to develop it and help you guys out. If not, I develop it myself for you. You know, it's really great for something in this nature to talk about fitness and exercise, because with so many influencers and so many people to watch, it gets very distracting. It gets very overwhelming. Like, where do you start? What do you do? Well, do you do this first? Do I do that first? I'm a very basic person, right? I've loved living off the basics. I'm nowhere super flashy. Whenever I get super flashy, I'm really bad at it, right? Because it's just not what I believe in. I'm not really, I can do it for sure, but I don't like teaching it because I understand the science behind it. I don't like breaking away from it. If you go to Crank, I never went into anything. We had maybe specialty Ali classes where like you were specifically coached after we know that you have a base that is strong, a base that has been built, then you're allowed to go there. Otherwise, you're not. You can stay, that's why I do dumbbell snatches or kettlebell. I keep it very simple. Sandbags, that's it. Nothing more than that, because you don't need it. All you need to do is feel good. Now, if that's something you want to develop more, getting faster, stronger that way, well then we'll build from the beginning. And then as we go, we start stepping you up. And then maybe 3 years down the line, maybe you can do it based off your flexibility, based on your mobility, right? Your physical mobility will help your mental mobility at the same time. Now, with that said, if you start combining exercise with mental treatment or mental health treatment like therapy, I feel like it's like taking steroids now. Right now, you already have the exercise and you're moving. I'm not saying traditional therapy. You have different forms of therapy that you can do, right? You can talk to someone. You can call a friend. You can call a hotline. I'll tell you guys in a second about that. And also there's many other avenues like counselors or I don't know. I'm not sure, honestly, because I go straight to therapy. For me, I just want, beep, I don't want to waste time. Shoo, right to the point or right to the needle. I don't know what I'm saying, but it's a faster gateway. Now, if you're in dire need of medication, maybe seeing a psychiatrist is what you need to do. You know, maybe you're so deep in the hole and it's been long enough that traditional nothing is going to help you. Maybe getting on an antidepressant for a little bit may help you. If you're not into it, that's cool too. You don't have to. I'm not saying you have to. I'm just giving you avenues that you have. I've also used psilocybin, still presently do. I microdose on the pretty much weekly, you know, whenever I need to, whenever I can, just kind of what I would say, my brother would say, is clear out the cookies and get rid of the data inside your head. Maybe think a little freer. It really helps. And my brother's a perfect example of someone that's like, I don't really need traditional therapy, but if it wasn't for the things that he's done, walking, stretching, going to PT, taking mushrooms, meditating, he would have been gone himself. He would have been a statistic as well. So it's hard to hear, it's hard to understand like different things you can do, but adding some form of therapy, some form of talking out your thoughts and emotions, maybe even journaling on top of exercise. Oof, man. Now your brain's on steroids, son. And now it's understanding a little bit more and understanding how to feel and move better in your life. And so the little bit of thing that I talked about last week was that I'm very excited for is that we developed the Mental Mobility Hotline. It's literally a anonymous hotline, toll free, where you guys can call and leave messages, leave stories, success stories, anything that's on your mind, maybe even a question that you want to be heard on the podcast. You could also tell me to go fuck myself, or you can tell me to go suck a D. So whatever you want, we'll check every day and make sure that we either share your story, so you can call and then leave a recording, tell us your story, and we'll share it on our Instagram. We'll share it on our YouTube channel. So definitely use it, because I think it's something that we all need, right? I think we talk about therapy, we talk about everything else. A lot of times we don't have a place to go. A lot of times we don't have a place to talk to. I was talking to my brother-in-law, Edwin. Like I said, he'll be on the podcast. And he talked about how people use this rubber duck theory. I'm not sure of it. I've never heard of it. But a lot of IT/coders, computer people have a rubber duck and they leave it on their desk and they kind of talk to that rubber duck to talk things out. So whenever there's an issue or problem, they use the rubber duck as a person. A lot of times by talking through things or talking to someone, you come up with an answer. you come up with clarity, right? It's the same thing as meditation. When I sit there and meditate, I understand how to do it where I can let thoughts pass. And these thoughts are going. All of a sudden, this one just pops up and it's like, oh, boom, that's the one. Clarity. And now I can take it to the rubber duck and talk it out and maybe find structure behind it. Really talking things out in a group without the fear of judgment is huge. It's judgment kills everybody. Right, and it's never going to stop. You self-judge, you judge other people, no matter what. Right, you can think you're the best person in the world, you're not. You judge, so stop. It's automatic, it's natural to judge. But for us to talk and try to be better and help ourselves, having a judge-free or an anonymous hotline can definitely help. So this is it right here. I don't know if you can see it. Bump coming soon. The Mental Mobility Hotline. It is 702-551-5409. I didn't want to get a 1-800 number. That's too many numbers. This one you can save, put in your phone, call whenever you want, and leave a message. You can tell me to go fuck myself. I have no problem with that. I actually think it'd be funny. But at the same time, if there's something that's for real, then why not call, leave a message? Tell me a story. I love to hear stories of people fighting, battling, getting through something in their life by using exercise, by using therapy, by using something. I also like to listen to people that are having a hard time, that may need answers, that may need questions, that may need us to just talk about something and maybe help you. I've gotten so many messages within the past couple of months about people just saying that, thank you, this is exactly what I need to hear. But I definitely got messages that also say, this is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Go kill yourself. Like, I've heard that as well. Then heard something about be Republican. I don't know what that meant, but there's a lot of people that are crazy that just like to put messages out there. So again, 702-551-5409. Maybe a little video will pop up at that point too. I'm not sure, but let me see if I have my copy, but they messed up here. So copy is something that you post up, and here it is. So this is what it'll say in like an announcement. Express yourself anonymously. Introducing the Mental Mobility Hotline. Got something on your mind? Need to vent, share a story, or ask a burning question? Our anonymous hotline is here for you. Call whatever that number was and leave a 3-minute anonymous message. Speak your truth without fear or judgment. Your privacy is our priority. Share your story. We believe your experiences can help uplift others. If you grant permission, we may feature you on our podcast, only if you choose to be recognized. Let your voice be heard. Your thoughts and emotions and your questions matter. This is your space to express yourself freely. Boom. Call us today. Do. Call, and let your thoughts soar. Guys, I'm super excited for this hotline. I'm really happy that's come to this, and I would love for you guys to share with me your experience and your stories. Now, in a closing, I just want to say get out and move. Right, for the last part of anything, if I could give you some homework today, it's just pick a day. Maybe not right now. If it's right now, get up and go for a walk. And that's it. Don't stretch. Don't put on running sneakers. You don't even need to get dressed. Go outside and go for a walk for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, a half an hour, and see where it takes you. You don't got to walk fast. You don't got to walk far. Put on some headphones. Listen to some music that you guys want. So I'm going to start featuring different types of records up here. So I'm going to put some, different music that I listen to. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. I don't know. I might change it. Right now it's Limelight. So that's a club I used to go to. Kind of a big influence me in electronic music for what we call techno back then, or trance and hardcore and jungle and breakbeats. And I went there and danced when I was like 16, even though you need to be 18. I went there for a long time, many, many years. And I learned a lot about myself through dance and movement. But make sure you guys move. That's the one thing I could ask you to do today. And then the next podcast, we'll, put something else up there and give you a little bit of extra homework that you can do. So with that said, today I want you to put on some shoes. Don't go barefoot. I like going barefoot. You don't have to. Get outside and walk without thinking. Get out there. Walk back and forth. If you need to, walk around a block. Don't drive anywhere to do it. Just walk out your door. Unless it's unsafe. Unless you live in you know what I'm saying? It's not really that safe to go walk outside. Then maybe drive somewhere. Go somewhere safe and walk. Honestly, what the dog trainer told me which is weird, is that they said that when I also exercise my dog, he says, try to get a mile in. And then he goes, he necessarily doesn't have to go outside. Any type of walking movement stimulation with a dog for this amount of time will be beneficial to him in training. I was like, what? He's like, yeah. I didn't say you had to go outside and walk him. You could also walk in circles inside your garage. You could also walk up and down your stairs and around your house with your dog. I was like, wow. I always think it's more than that, It's like, oh my God, let me get treats in my pocket and make sure I got doo-doo bags. I'm not doing it to go let him go to the bathroom or relieve himself. I'm doing it for training purposes and trying to get his brain stimulated. So adding exercise within the house with some tricks and exercises for his brain, it helps. We've done it multiple times. So maybe we could do the same thing too. Walk around your house. Be careful going down the stairs if you know you can't. Stay on a flat ground. Whatever it is you got to do, you do. And the next week, we'll give you something else. And we'll figure it out from there. You guys let me know what that feels like. And we'll see you guys in the next one. So I'm going to say thank you very much for coming out to I almost said Jersey to Vegas. I always want to say it. It's going to be a while. The Mental Mobility Podcast. I thank you guys so much for coming out today. Hope you guys walked away with something that you can use. As always, thank you. If you want to support the Patreon, patreon.com/Jersey to Vegas. I got to change that too, I guess. Thank you guys so much. Peace out, Cub Scouts. Till next time.